Okay, I need to do my 3 for 3, 3 by 3, 3 times 3 video. And I've been thinking about 3 things about me that people probably don't know. I'm not actually sure what 3 things I can talk about. So, I thought I'd pick one thing that probably YouTube people don't know about me. Anyone who has known me a long time, family and friends and what have you, they will know this about me. But I'm not as confident as I might come across. Up until a few years ago, I lived with, well, I still do live with anxiety, but it kind of peaked about 4 years ago and just kind of became pretty much debilitating. I mean, I still worked and, you know, everything was fine like that, but it would just break me down in seconds. You know, I'd get what I called intrusive thoughts kind of like coming into me that I just couldn't shake. And I spent a lot of money and 2 years of counselling to realise that things I had seen in the news and in newspapers and stuff growing up, I took on things that happened to people and took them on as sort of as if they'd happened to myself. So I kind of lived with a like a PTSD kind of reaction to certain things in newspapers, things that I saw, usually around people doing really bad things to other people. And those were my triggers. So the minute I would see something on the news or in a newspaper, it would just kick off my anxiety as if those things had happened to me. And those things never happened to me. I had an amazing upbringing. I had an amazing childhood. But I'm just a very overly sensitive person, and I kind of take on other people's feelings, I guess. And what I must have done unknowingly as a child is just taken on everything that I saw in the news, you know, that was bad, and kind of took it to heart as if, I guess I couldn't understand it. I couldn't understand why people did these things. And the more I thought about it, the more I kind of took on the feelings that it had happened to me. I never looked at it that way, but as it turns out, that's how it was. So I was kind of dealing with a post-traumatic stress. So 2 years of counselling really did wonders, and made me realise that, you know, those things do happen, and there's not a lot I can do about it. All I can do is be a good person and be a kind person and keep my little part of the world, you know, as good and safe as possible. So yeah, so my anxiety has reduced a lot in the last few years, and I'm definitely more confident now than I was. So that's my first thing about me. The second thing about me that people might not know is that I used to go to church. In my teens, early teens, I spent a lot of time with friends who were churchgoers, and their families were churchgoers. And so I kind of started going to church and started going down that path. And this is, you know, I have no issues with anybody's religion or anybody's beliefs. I think everyone is free to follow the path they want to follow. But it didn't sit right with me because I had an awful lot of adults telling me that because my parents worked Sundays, they had a shop. And because they worked Sundays, because basically they took on the shop just before the recession, and they had to work every hour God sent, basically, to be able to keep their business and to feed us and to keep a roof over our heads. And I'm sure they would have much rather been at home with us on Sundays and Saturdays, but they were working, and that's what it was. But I was told by other adults in the church that because my parents didn't attend church, and because they worked instead of coming to church, that they would not make it to heaven, because they needed the family of the church to be able to enter heaven. And I said, well, what happens if they pray in their own time, if they have their own belief? And I was told, no, that wasn't good enough. And I didn't believe that any God would put us on this planet to worship him above all else, above, you know. I kind of thought if I made a planet of people, there's no way I'd do that. I'd want them to live and be kind to each other and look after each other, not spend all their time worshipping me. And then I was also told I was meant to love God above my family. And I'm sorry, but nobody comes before my family. At that point, it was my sisters, my brother, my nan, and my mum and dad. We all lived together. And then, you know, now it's like nothing comes before my children. I love Lee dearly, but he doesn't come before my children. He doesn't. So yeah, that didn't sit right with me. And as I got older and stopped worrying about what everyone else thought was normal, I spent more of my time with more gentle, earthy people, sort of more spiritual in a non-religious way, and kind of found my place. And so my religion, if you want to call it a religion, is partly pagan, although I'm not heavy pagan. There's elements of it, but I'm not heavy pagan. But it's kind of a nature kind of religion. You know, I'm led by the seasons, and I'm led by nature, and being part of that and being connected to the world is, and respectful of our world, is my religion. It's what I believe is the right thing to do. The more connected and the more you work with your world, your land, your area around you, the better it is. The more honest a life I think you're living. So that's the second thing. Third thing about me. Third thing about me? I did have a third thing about me that people might not know. I don't know. Can't remember what the third thing was now. I'm going to have to pause this and think of something. Okay, I can't think of what the third thing was. I did have 3 things in my mind. I knew I should have written them down. Okay. But something that I can think of. I've never been very good at sitting still, says me, lounging on the sofa. And you do see me in my bed a lot, so you might not believe that. But having said that, a lot of you do comment about how much I get up to during a day. I've never been very good at relaxing, never been very good at sitting still. My dad used to lay me on the sofa as a child, and he used to move parts of my body and say to me, that's not relaxed, like, you know, relax your leg. And he'd flop my legs and I'd be like, you know, stiff like a board. I had fantastic stomach muscles back then, probably because of anxiety. I was so sort of uptight when I was little, but that, yeah, I just couldn't relax, I just couldn't sit still. And I'm like that now. I can sit still for a period of time, but then I get really bored and feel like I'm wasting my day, and I feel like I should be doing something more constructive with my time. And so yeah, I find things to do. I get up and find clearing up to do. I really like tidying, or I find jobs that need doing. So in my head now, I'm thinking, after I finish this, I need to go and sort out the shoe basket, because there are more shoes in there than we need. So yeah, that's my job. So I'm constantly thinking of little things that I need to do, and I hate sitting still for too long. I set up little challenges for myself. I say, right, I'm going to have a day of doing nothing. I'm going to relax and do absolutely nothing all day. And I get into about 2 hours of it if I'm lucky. And then I'm like, can't do it. Got to find something to do. Don't know why it is. I just cannot sit still. My mum comments a lot on my energy. You know, if I say to her I'm going to come over and help with some housework or get ready for Christmas and, you know, get the house ready and stuff, I like literally zoom around the house, and I've cleaned her 5-bedroom house, and, you know, with 2 bathrooms and, you know, huge great big kitchen and living room and hallway and all the rest of it, and I've cleaned all of that in a matter of 2 hours, and she's still sitting there, you know, watching me go, kind of completely dazed by this whirlwind sort of tornado that's going through her house. I think I tire her out just watching me. Or maybe I'll slow down as I get older. I don't know. So those are my 3 things about me that you may or may not have known. So now I have to think of 3 people to challenge to do this. So the first one is going to be Minx Laura 123, who I saw at the weekend. So if you haven't seen that vlog yet, go check out my Saturday vlog where we met up with Laura in Southend-on-Sea, in Southend-on-Sea. So I'm challenging Laura to this one. I'm going to challenge my godson because he wants to shout out, and that kind of kills two birds with one stone. Firestreak. He is he's my godson, and he's lovely, and he does sort of silly videos like, you know, Beamboozle challenges and gaming videos and stuff. So you can go check him out. And I'm challenging him to do 3 things we don't know about him. And I'm going to challenge... I'm going to challenge one of the lads. Which one shall I challenge? I'm going to challenge Dan's haunted cottage. Yeah. So I want to know 3 things about you, Dan, that we don't know, that your viewers don't know. Okay, so that's my challenge set. Hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, you know what to do. Subscribe, like and comment. Thanks people.